Yes, Karen, please go.
Right, good morning, everybody. My name is Professor Karen Harris. I'm at the University of Pretoria in South Africa at the bottom end of our continent. It is my very great pleasure as a member of ATLAS, which is the Association for Tourism and Leisure, Education and Research, to welcome you all this morning. I'm delighted that I'm again here with my honours students who are presenting on one of the projects that they accomplished this year. A little about ATLAS. ATLAS, as I said, the Association for Tourism and Leisure Education and Research, was established in 1991 to develop transnational educational and research initiatives in tourism and leisure. ATLAS provides a forum to promote staff and student exchange, transnational research, and to facilitate curriculum and professional development. ATLAS has a membership in about 50 countries, and I'm delighted to say here in South Africa, we have been a member for a number of years. ATLAS holds regional and national and international conferences, and it also has postgraduate competitions for both master's and doctoral students. Some 3 years ago, we approached ATLAS with the idea of letting our honours students, who are our fourth year students, present a seminar and then a webinar on this platform. And I must say, we're delighted that we've been welcomed back for a third year in a row to present on a topic. This is about my students, what they've accomplished and what they've done. And I'm very proud to introduce you to them, a team of 15 students who are reaching the end of their honours or postgraduate year. It gives me great pleasure to hand over to the MC for today, Tabang, the ATLAS Webinar 2022. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Greetings, everyone. Now, I officially welcome you to the ATLAS webinar presented to you by the University of Pretoria Campus Tours. We are going to refer to it as UPCT. We would like to welcome you on a journey with us. Living Live Projects. This webinar will reflect on how UPCT, through the application of live projects, doubles up as a work-integrated learning mechanism, while at the same time offering the student cohort an internship and a year of hands-on real-life experience. Welcome to the University of Pretoria. This is our beautiful campus. As you can see on your left-hand side, we have jacaranda trees. We have that all over the campus. And on the middle here, we have our motto, which simply means I press on to the goal. And on your right-hand side, we are having quite a number of fever trees. This is a number of our buildings that we have on campus. On the right-hand side, we have the tallest building on campus, which is known as the Humanities Building. On your middle, we have administration building. As you can see, it looks like a ship. Quite a nice design. And on your right-hand side, we have one of the engineering buildings that we have on campus known as Engineering 1. I'll pass over to my colleague here, Mavis.
Thank you so much, Tabang. The overview of our presentation. Firstly, we're going to focus on the location of the University of Pretoria in South Africa. And then we'll move on to the history of the university, faculties that are within the university, Bachelor of Social Sciences, honors in the postgraduate level, heritage and cultural tourism. And then we'll look at the UPCT as a live project, and then what a live project is specifically. And then we'll delve into the different portfolios that we have amongst University of Pretoria campus tours, which are finance, public relations and communication, administration and management, marketing, human resource, events, and then we'll conclude and give a special thanks. I'll give over to my colleague Innocentia.
So you guys may be wondering where we are located. So we are located in Africa, in the southernmost tip of Africa, where you find South Africa. And our university is located in Pretoria, which is one of our capital cities. Our capital city is known as the city of Jacarandas. And our beautiful campus, which is located in the Hatfield campus, is where we are located as UPCT. I will give over to my colleague Phumzile, who will elaborate further.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I will be taking you through the history of the University of Pretoria. So you may be wondering why I am showing you this building that you see on your screen. This is a very significant historical building of the University of Pretoria. This is where the University of Pretoria began in 1908 in a small house in the center of Pretoria. This building has now moved to our main campus, which is the Hatfield campus, and the name of the building is called Kairosa. Well, as the number of students expanded in 1910, the university moved its premises to the Hatfield campus, which is where you will find Kairosa. Well, Kairosa is a very historical building to the University of Pretoria, and the university has 7 campuses and 9 faculties.
Okay, good morning. I will be taking you through the various faculties that are within the University of Pretoria. Now we have, like I said, a variety ranging from the Economic and Management Sciences faculty, Education, Engineering, Built Environment and Information Technology, Health Sciences, Humanities, Law, Natural and Agricultural Sciences, Theology and Religion, as well as Veterinary Sciences.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Cindy. Taking you through faculties, we are under the faculties of humanities. Under the Faculty of Humanities, we find our 4th year program, which is the Bachelor's of Social Science Honors in the Heritage and Cultural Tourism. And we are the UP Campus Tours for the year 2022. UP Campus Tours and the Heritage and Cultural Tourism Honors programs comes together to form a work-integrated learning, which helps bridge the gap between theory and practice of what we do. And then under the Bachelor's of Social Sciences in Honors of Heritage and Cultural Tourism, we have a module EFK 752, which is a code for heritage and cultural tourism. What we do in this module is we learn the theory and then take it over and use it at UPCT. What UPCT does, it offers tours around the campus to clients looking at what they would prefer, and that is our business.
Okay. Thank you, Mpile. So a fun thing that we discovered this year is that as much as UP Campus Tours has been running for 19 years, struck a realization that we are actually participating in a live project. So just to give you a background of what a live project is, which also happens to be the theme of this webinar, a live project comprises of a negotiation of brief, timescale, budget, and product between educational organizations and external collaborator for mutual benefit. It must be structured to ensure that students gain learning that is relevant to their educational development. Now I'm passing on to Linda, who will be, oh, sorry, my bad. Right, so just to expand on what I've just said with live projects, just to give a few characteristics, it is a creative teaching exercise, an introduction to authentic knowledge, an enabler for students to develop their skills, and a tool to provide students with employment abilities. So now I'm passing on to Linda, who will expand more on the various examples we have of live projects worldwide.
Thank you, Cindy. So these are the examples of universities that incorporate live projects worldwide. On your right-hand side, or rather left-hand side, we have the Manchester Metropolitan University, located in the United Kingdoms, which provides a program that runs for over 12 weeks, or sometimes 13 weeks, that provides its master's student with the necessary skills on how to cope when it comes to the working environment. On your right-hand side, we have the University of Pretoria. Sorry for my pronunciation. It's located in Venice. So this one provides its master's student within the Economic and Management of Tourism department with an internship of over 1 year. It's very rigorous. So it needs all the students to be prepared in order to survive in the working environment. I'll now pass over to my colleague, Umpili.
So I am back again to answer probably one of the burning questions in your mind of why is life projects important? So firstly, it familiarizes students with a working environment. And while it's doing that, it gets them proper training and boost their confidence. While boosting their confidence, they're able to integrate with one another and work with each other, which teaches them teamwork. It improves their leadership qualities, and lastly, enhance communication and logical and analytic skills. Handing over again to Phumzile.
Well, as my colleagues have mentioned what a life project is, these are the 10 things that are important and everyone must know containing the life project. Well, life project consists of these 10 things. Well, the first one is mutually beneficial relationships, ability to develop real life experience, early way to choose a career path, easy entry on the corporate, facilitates cracking job interviews, easy to connect classrooms, teaching with the natural world, the advantage to the company, develop an ability to tackle business challenges, and it bridges the gap between industry and expectations and theory, and it gives you the chance to work with dynamic teams.
Hi everyone, my name is Had. So how does UPCT use life projects as a work integrated teaching tool? So during our honors year, we had this module called EFK, and we got the theory from that, and then we got to use that in a practical way during our time at UPCT. So UPCT has given us all of the skills and knowledge to use it in a business environment. And then some of the skills and knowledge we gained from this life project is to tackle business challenges, develop real-life experiences, work in dynamic teams, build mutually beneficial friendships, and then to bridge the gap between tourism industries. We're moving on to the different portfolios now in our time at UPCT, and the first one is finance.
Hello everyone, my name is Genelwe and I will be touching on finance. So we learned two things: the ability to develop real life experiences and tackle business challenges. So in terms of developing real life experiences, this is a business. UPCT is a business, which also means that it has a finance department. So with that being said, we learned the procedure of how finance works and the way things should go. So in terms of the finance procedure, it literally starts the minute a client calls us or emails us, and then we send them a Google link. And the first picture that you see on your left, it's the Google form. So with this Google form, this is where they have to insert all the necessary information that we would use to actually compile an invoice, or also that we would use to actually do refunds if they don't do the tour. And then right after that, they have to send us a POP to actually confirm the tour that they will be taking with us. And then after that, we give the tour. Literally after the tour, that's not where it ends. We actually, as finance, have to come together and consolidate, check using the proof of payment and invoice whether or not money has reflected in our account. We are not only limited to managing the finances that relates to the tours, but also the events. When there is an event and we have to donate money or spend money, we are in charge, and then we learn the procedure of how to actually go about getting the money from UPCT and using it for whatever events. Now I'll be handing over to Innocentia, who will also discuss on the business challenges we have experienced.
So as a business, UPCT has faced a lot of challenges, which we were able to overcome using some of the contingencies that we have been able to develop over the years. So some of them include going to another department, which consists of a professional person who is able to take us under their wing and help us through what we need to do. So As you can see here, this is some of the example of the number of tours that we've taken over the years. So in 2019, you can see that a lot of the tours were done physically, and as a result of COVID not being an issue. And in 2020, that's when the UPCT year had to better rely on virtual tours, and they were able to conduct tours virtually, most of which they were successful, and they were able to pass on to the next year, which is 2021, when the university was slowly opening up, which meant that the tours were also starting to be more physical as well. And our year, which is 2022, is when most of the tours were done physically as a result of the number of growing students and us going back to like the physical classroom, like for more of the year, which was like the second half of the year. This meant that we had done a lot more tours than the other years, which gave us like more experience. So this is how, like one part of which this is a live project, which allows us to work with the other departments when they are able to teach us a few things about the financial department. And now I will hand over to my colleague Angie, who is in the public relations, and she'll elaborate further on her portfolio.
Thanks, Innocenta. So my name is Angie, and I form half of the public relations and communication portfolio. So how did our portfolio live live projects? So the two that we identified is that we created mutually beneficial relationships, and then we also, it also helped facilitate cracking job interviews. So how did we create mutually beneficial relationships? Throughout the year, we had a number of collaborations with various societies at UP, such as Pledge a Pad, which my colleague will explain further, but it's essentially a student-run society at campus providing sanitary products for women who are unable to get for themselves. Tux FM, which is the University of Pretoria's radio station, UP Museums, which are the museums at the university, as well as Makerspace, which is essentially a 3D printing workshop where if a student or a staff member has an idea, but they don't know how to make it a reality, they can go to Makerspace and the people there will actually help figure out all the questions of how to make it into an actual physical product. So we also learned how to effectively communicate within a corporate environment, developing a deeper understanding of different communication strategies, and also how to communicate differently using those strategies with different people. For example, we would have a different communication strategy with a prospective student coming on a tour versus talking to a CEO. We also learned how to compromise and how these compromises can be created to suit all the parties involved. So now I'll hand over to Lindo, who will give you practical examples of these collaborations this year.
Thank you for that, Angie. And these are our collaborations. On your top left, we have Pledge a Pad, whereby the University of Pretoria campus tours donated sanitary pads to underprivileged girls inside of the university and outside of the university. And on your middle and top right, we have the Mamelodi Community Project, whereby we created story maps of the people in Mamelodi. This is where they got their chance to tell their stories. And then on your top right, we have your human resources team building experiences, whereby we help the team of human resources to engage with one another, to get to know with one another, to work with one another. What a day. And on your bottom left, we have the Makerspace, a place for innovation and creativity. And on your middle, we have the Design Sprint, which was a very rigorous experience for all of the University of Pretoria Heritage and Cultural Tourism honors students. And on the picture that you are seeing now is the day whereby we undertook the tour of the University of Pretoria museums, whereby we had the chance to see the Mapungubwe Museum and the World Ceramics library that is located at this prestigious museum. I'll now hand over to my colleague, Pumzile.
Thank you, Lindo. Well, I form part of the administration and office management. I'm with my colleague, Mavis Kosa. Well, these are the two characteristics of a life project that we found to be most valuable to our portfolio. As we all know that admin and office management is the heart of every operation. So we are the heads of this UPCT. And then the characteristics that we got two characteristics out of the 10 that are most important to the admin portfolio. Well, the first one is being the chance to work with dynamic teams. And then in this instance, we got a chance to share meetings. And then we also got the ability to get real life experiences by being secretaries of the UPCT.
Well, being the head of the household is never too easy. But then our duties were to organize meetings for the team. These were both virtually and physically held. Here we learned skills such as communication, where we had to learn to understand each other and our various personalities. Also, our other role was to ensure that everyone does their job to the best of their abilities. Here we would track who has less tools, who has more, and do all of that, ensuring that the office is clean so that we have clean and fresher minds to work in. Also, we would buy stationaries to make sure that everyone has every material that they need to ensure that their job is well done. I'll hand over to my colleague, Victory, to carry you through.
Thank you, Mavis. Hi everyone, I'm Victory from the marketing department. So marketing is the process of getting people to be interested in your product or service. So marketing, it is necessary in all stages of a business selling journey, and it can use numerous platforms such as social media, which will be elaborated more by my colleague Sam. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard, for that. With that explanation given, I will then explain what Life Project relates to marketing. As you all know, Life Project is all about practical skills and also acquiring those skills. It enhances communication, logic, and also analytical skills. And it also fosters learning processes. With that being said, Life Projects also acts as a pre-placement training, which also gives us the practical skills. The practical skills that we have learned in UPCT is that we have learned to use websites to edit videos as well as pictures. We've used websites such as Longshot and also Shortcut as well. So that also enhances our skills in knowing how to edit videos and also pictures and posting those pictures in our social media accounts. I will then hand over to Masha to explain more about the social media accounts.
Thank you, Sam. Hello, everyone. My name is Masha, and I'm speaking of boosting the image of the business. So we do this by having social media accounts. So we have Facebook, and we also have Instagram. We also have a website in which we post pictures and we post videos as well to showcase the events that we took part in. We also get offered the equipment from our department where we get computers. We also get cameras in which we take videos. We get the chance to edit them and also post them on our social media accounts. We also have a flyer over here, which we promote our business with, handing over to students across the campus or people that are interested in taking tours. Here we have, we had an opportunity to visit Tax FM in order to promote our human rights event, which my colleague mentioned earlier. Then yes, we were talking about it and we had an opportunity to be interviewed. So yes, handing over to my colleague, Jocelina.
They already introduced me. I'm Jocelina. I'm part of the Human Resources portfolio. As part of the Human Resources portfolio, we got a chance to work with dynamic teams as well as familiarize the students with working environment. We did that through using our skills that we learned. We had to focus on conflict resolution within dynamic groups, which is an important skill needed in a workplace, ensuring a mental healthy environment through affirmations, communicating with different members of the group in different ways. As you know that in a working environment, we have different personalities. In that way, we're able to deal with different personalities through learning the skills that are needed in human resources. We also had to learn how to take firm actions even when it was hard. As you know that we are a group of students that are more or less the same age, so it is hard to take firm actions. But then we had to do that as part of our learning process. These are some of the activities that help us to focus on building a team that is strong and able to work together. In the right-hand side, we have the team playing a board game. In that way, we're able to focus on building our team and able to work together. And on the left-hand side, it's also part of team building. There we're focusing on working together through in which the lectures placed us in different groups in order to work with different people, as they know that if they were to make us choose our groups, we'll choose the people that we usually work with. But through making us, placing us in different groups, we're able to work with dynamic groups. I will hand it over to the events portfolio.
I'm Selina. I'll be talking about the events portfolio. So these are the two characteristics that we use from the LIFE project: the ability to develop real life experience and also a chance to work with dynamic teams. Teamwork with different personalities is vital yet challenging in a LIFE project. So we had to work in dynamic teams, which also included the marketing team to help us to advertise the events that we had. Taking the lead in planning and coordinating events, encouraging stepping out of our comfort zone, advertising our events through several university media such as Tax FM and our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and then handling all the surprises that come with an event and adjusting to planning accordingly. So the surprises that we had were weather changes and also load shedding. So load shedding is our power cut. So when we had those challenges, we could maybe change venue when there are weather changes, and then for load shedding, we could use the generator. I'll hand over to Cindy, who will talk about the challenges that we had.
Thank you, Selina. So just to expand on the challenges that we faced as the events portfolio, as my colleagues have already mentioned, running a huge household is not child's play. So we had to juggle ideas from different perspectives and personalities because there's like 15 of us. So everyone had a different idea and we had to make sure that we juggle those ideas from different people. In so doing, you also had to avoid biases in choosing ideas. We didn't want to make anyone feel left out or anyone feel like their ideas are being neglected in some way. So we also had to achieve all of that, which again wasn't a piece of pie. And then another challenge was accomplishing order and cooperation throughout. So in planning an event, there's a lot of planning that comes in. They have to organize interviews, we have to write articles and various types of activities to put our event out there and put it on the map. So in accomplishing order and cooperation, we really had to develop thick skin and just make sure that everything is going well so that it doesn't explode in our faces. But overall, we pretty had a successful year, and Mpilo will expand more on the events that were actually successful in UPCT.
Thank you so much. So most of our events are circled around the South African calendar. The first event that we did was the Human Rights event. So it's when we celebrate Human Rights Day. So Human Rights Day, it is celebrated every year in South Africa on the 21st of March to be able to represent equality and freedom of speech, where we're able to celebrate all the rights that we have as South African citizens. So what we did specifically for this day was we took a number of papers, put them together to become such a big band of papers that you're seeing on the screen right now. And we had letters spelling equality. And then we also took paintings of different colors, and most of the colors are on our South African flags. So we took those paintings, and then we took our hands, and then we pasted them all over the paper. And that's what we did for the day. We also went on to have an interview with Tax FM, whereby we went on to elaborate more on what human right means to us, and also us, especially as the youth. The second event that we did was on the 9th of August, which was Women's Day. So we took our UP campus stores gazebo that we have and placed it at the center of the campus, we encouraged students to be able to donate pets. So what happened is that when you donate a pet, you get a chance to take a free tour with us. And then we also, us as UP Campus Tour, took some from our side and donated to Pledge a Pet. And then lastly, we had a Fly at UP collaboration. So a Fly at UP is a collaboration, is an organization in the University of Pretoria. That means the finish line is yours. So the organization helps students to be able to graduation on time and enable them with management skills such as time management and juggling between social life and academic life. So what happened with them between us was that as the university moved from online lectures to physical contact, we were able to help them manage their student around campus, be able to give them direction and take them to the right places. That's what we did for them. And I'll be handing over to Angie.
Okay, so I have the privilege of concluding for today. So hopefully from this webinar, you can see that choosing UPCT actually provides an easy way or an easy choice to a career path. You get the work integrated learning experience, you get the live projects experience, you get all the challenges that comes with that business as well. And hopefully throughout all the different portfolios as well, you can see how each portfolio has lived live projects. So I just want to briefly go back to what Tabang mentioned, the slogan of UP is, and it's I press on to the goal. So we as UPCT press on or strive to achieve our goals of living live projects. I do also just want to say a special thanks to Professor Karen Harris, our head of department, who did open this webinar as well, as she created UPCT 19 years ago. And so it's very easy to say that without her, none of this would be possible. So thank you very much, Prof. And then I also want to thank everyone here today who's joined us for the webinar. Thank you very much for joining us. And if you have any questions, I think on the YouTube live, we've got someone who's going to come and ask us some questions now. So yes, thank you very much. And if you have questions, please feel free to type it in the chat on the YouTube live. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Angela, and a good morning from my side to everyone as well. My name is Sia Boot, and I'm part of the Heritage and Cultural Tourism lecturing staff here at the University of Pretoria. So it's my distinct honor to perhaps relay the questions and comments from YouTube to this year's honors group. So guys, we have 4 questions that I think you can answer for the entire audience, and then just a few comments. So Angela, I think given that you're already seated, let's start with you. So the first question is, do you believe that the implementation of live projects has a future in the tourism domain?
Yes, 100% I do. I think that live projects really links this knowledge of the practical side as well as the theory side. And so by actually being able to implement the business opportunities and implement the benefits and those 10 important factors while still studying actually really sets us ahead of the rest of the curve in terms of our future in the industry as well. So I definitely think that there's a big opportunity and need for more people to look at incorporating work, integrated learning, as well as live projects while still studying. So yeah, definitely.
Thanks so much. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's almost like an effective preparation for the fourth industrial revolution as well. The next question, let's hand that to Tabang. And this question is quite simple. How did you experience UPCT for 2022?
Okay, personally, I had quite a number of challenges, but one of the skills that I've managed to develop is to have some sort of resilience, a skill to manage conflicts, skills to manage time, and skills to actually work with the diverse group that I was placed under for 2022. So that's one of the skills, most of the skills that I've learned for 2022.
Thank you very much. Now I'll hand over to Innocentia for the next one. And that simply reads, would you recommend this postgraduate degree to other local and international students?
I would say yes, because for me specifically, it has helped me come out of my own shell. So it has helped me put myself out there more. So I would definitely recommend it, not to mention the skills that we've acquired that are transferable to any kind of work environment. So we were working in a group, we were working as a team. So there's a lot of technical skills that we learned, and also like the soft skills. So I would definitely recommend it to someone else.
Great, thanks so much. And then the last question I will direct to Cindy. And this person simply asks, how did you as a group come to learn of live projects?
Okay, like I said in the presentation earlier, we actually realized quite later in the year that we are incorporating live projects because of the various characteristics that we mentioned, that we got to form mutually beneficial friendships, we got to choose a career path, and yeah, we also got an opportunity to work in dynamic teams. So I think the presentation spoke for itself, that we actually incorporated live projects effectively and efficiently. And yeah, it's been happening for 19 years. We just realized that later this year that we're actually living live projects.
Indeed, thank you very much. Okay, that's it for the questions, but I do think there's a few comments we do need to take into account from the audience. The first one is excellent promotion, Robert, of travel and tourism, especially for Southern Africa. The next one is very positive, getting things done at the University of Pretoria. Number 3, tourism student business incubator, very much a success story. Next one for you guys is fantastic presentation. Well done on that. And then the 5th one is the University of Pretoria is most definitely the place to be for heritage and cultural tourism in Africa. That's quite a big one, so thank you for that. And then finally, well done to the UPCT cohort of 2022. That's all the feedback and comments from my side. And I think on that very high note, I'll give over to you guys again to conclude. Thanks so much.